What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be the Trader. Today, I want to talk about what I've been going through in the month of November. November has just started. Today is November 5th. So there hasn't been much to it. Although October was interesting for me because, and I don't know if you listened to the previous episode, but if you haven't, make sure to go back and watch that one. But I decided to really take hold of this paper trading to try new strategies instead of using my real account. Now, I'll still trade with my real account. It's just only when I see my A+ setup. Well, but with that being said, it hasn't happened at all in like a week or 2 weeks. And today I thought it was going to happen. I took a loss on APVO. If you look at the chart, obviously yesterday it had a drop and then fake out, gapping down and squeeze. I wasn't in it on that day, which is November 4th. But today, November 5th, we had a squeeze in the morning. So I thought that was different. I thought we were squeezing the shorts early and I was able to get on that squeeze, but then squeezed again midday, and that's when I got out. And thank God, because it squeezed past high a day and went up, $5 a share from there, or $6, which is wild. And this is what I want to talk about. I haven't been trading often with my real account because I haven't seen great setups. Penny stock land, small cap land have not been great. It has not, especially for short sellers. I listen to other short sellers on Twitter, and when I mean by listens, I read them, I listen to other podcasts, and I listen to these people talk, and they explain that, man, it's been tough. It has been tough. And I get it. If you're a veteran trader and you're killing it, hats off to you, man, but I'm not. And so for me, I need to stick on with my best setup. And that doesn't happen often. And I thought today APVO was the day, but it was not. But that's okay. And since I wasn't trading for 2 weeks till that, I was okay to give it 2 shots. I gave it 2 shots. I was wrong. And I'll wait for another day. And I'm watching it right now and it's coming down, but today's not the day, so I'm not going to touch it. But what I will tell you is paper trading every day in the big caps, which is what I've been doing, has given me practice, right? I never talked down on paper trading. I said it's a good option, especially if you already know how to trade real money. So you have the emotion already, you know how it is. But what I will say is, I never really dove in to paper trading, not seriously. Now I am. And I can tell you from my experience, it's great because I'm experimenting a lot more and I'm trying new setups and I'm tracking those setups and I'm seeing what I like, what I don't like. And there's some days that are great and there's some days that are wash and there's some days that are not great. So I'm still trying to find that consistency. But what's unique is I'm trading with a more open mind. There's a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. It's a great book, one of my favorite books of all time. I actually read it before I got into trading, and it relates to trading so well. It's about having an open mind and versus a closed mindset. And a lot of us, almost everyone really, has a closed mindset in all types of ways, right? Maybe not in all your whole life, but you might have a closed mindset. Like, for example, you could call me, potentially I had a closed mindset for the longest time where I only trade at one setup and that's it, right? But now I'm more open, right? I'm more open to trying with a paper account other setups, other long setups. That's right, long setups. I've been longing almost every day. So I'm trying to get my niche down and I'm trying to experiment with the big caps because I'll be honest with you. If I can short and long on big caps for free, I'm going to do it because why would I just focus on penny stocks if I always got to borrow shares? I got to pay for those borrows. I got to short. I got to make sure there's borrows. And most brokers, you have to pay per share no matter what broker you use, especially if you're a short seller. So if you're longing in that same account, you're paying for that as well. Whereas if you're going with E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, or someone like that, it's free. That's just something that's always been in the back of my mind. And so I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to practice. And a lot of guys and gals have been asking me questions about what I'm using to practice. I'm using Dash Trader Pro and through Cobra Trading. Cobra Trading is my broker. Great people. I'm actually partnering with them. If you do reach out to them and let them know I sent you, you do get a good deal, the same discount I get, and it helps me out. So I appreciate that. But I use them because they have the best service, and you can open a paper account with them and switch while you're trading your real account to your paper account and still trade with the Dash Trader Pro software. And you can still see your executions. You can track it. And it's just great to do, right? I don't have to open up another software. I don't have to do anything. I'm already trading my regular account. So it's easy to just switch. Now, one thing you got to be careful is you accidentally switch when you're trying to trade your paper account and you're trading your real money, and vice versa. That has happened to me once, and it sucks. But you just get out right away. Like, you don't even think. Like, as soon as you know you make that mistake, get out. Don't be like, oh, maybe I should stay. Just don't do that, because you can be in a bad situation. But that's just a little food for thought. But I've been getting other questions too, though, lately about, paper trading account, what have I been using? As I mentioned, Dash Trader Pro through Cobra Trading, the brokerage. But then I get questions like, hey, I noticed that you have done reviews on other guru services. I personally, me, Alex, right, have tried other services. They'll go, hey, I know you tried other services, and you've interviewed other people who've been in other services. So I thought I'd reach out and ask you for your opinion. Which one should I go with? I need you guys to know I do all of this extra work, right? Because I love to do it. I love trading. I'm going to hopefully one day be one of the top traders. That's one of my goals, right? That's what I want to do. And at the end of the day, I just want to be a good trader. Like, I don't care specifically the top, but that's a goal though, right? Like, because if I don't reach there, what am I even doing? But even with that in mind, I do all this other extra, like making videos on YouTube, the podcast, because I want you to be empowered to make a decision. If I am making your decision, then I'm not doing it. I'm doing a disservice, because one of the biggest things with trading is being able to make your own decisions, being able to follow through with your decisions. And that is a plan, right? Making a plan, which is trading, which is another way of thinking of it is if you're reaching out to people to tell you what to do, then I promise you what you're doing is you're looking for a quick fix, and you're reaching out you're probably going to chat rooms, right? That's what I meant to say. You're probably going to chat rooms where you are trying to figure out what you should do and what you shouldn't do, right? Chasing and being a sheep. And a sheep, if you don't know, if you're new to the show, first off, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. But a sheep is someone who follows someone else into a trade. And let me tell you something about sheep. I had the opportunity to sit with other traders who are successful. I've been in chat rooms. I've been through this whole roller coaster of up and downs, and it sucks, right? I've been here and I'm still kind of there. Like, I found my consistency with my setup, and as long as I stick to that, I'm going to stay profitable, but it doesn't happen often. And that is frustrating. But what I want to tell you is if you could be in the exact same trade as me, I need you to hear this. You could be in the exact same trade as me and lose and I win, or I lose and you win. And we could have the same idea because you're following me, and it just won't work, and you won't learn. And if you don't understand that, you probably already understand that, because you're probably in a chat room and you're probably like, man, this guy's killing it and I can't kill nothing. It's because it just doesn't work that way. If it was that easy, it would be easy to be a good trader, right? Everyone would be successful in less than 3 months. And I know be careful when you hear people pushing like, hey, my student has been with us for 3 months. He's making killer money, or she's making killer money. Like, hats off to them, right? Like, at the end of the day, I'm not saying they're not telling the truth. But what I am saying is 3 months is nothing. 6 months is nothing. A year is barely something. Go ask an actual trader who's been doing this full time. They've been doing this for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Even the ones who've been doing it for 5 years are saying, I'm barely scratching the surface. The ones who were doing it for 10, 12 years are saying, man, I thought I knew something 5 years ago. I don't know anything 5 years ago compared to now. And so that just tells you that, yeah, hats off to them. They're not lying. Good job. Great. But don't let that get into your mind of like, oh my God, they're consistent. Because a consistent month isn't a consistent 3 years. A consistent year isn't a consistent 5 years. A consistent month, 2, 3 is not consistency. Consistency is at least 1 full year of profits, right? At least that's my opinion. And I barely fall into that. You listened to my last episode. If you haven't, where I talk about 2 of my months made pretty much my entire year, 70% of my profits, which was disheartening and encouraging at the same time. But it is what it is. Like I need to focus on what I'm good at, so I'm going to keep doing that. And how did I solve that problem? So a lot of people ask me the question of, hey, Alex, I'm in one setup. I only know one good setup and I know I'm good at it, but it doesn't happen often, or I find myself getting into other trades. Well, I have a solution now, because I was the same way, and I was the same way in the sense where I would say, like, I could be patient and I wouldn't jump into other trades as often as maybe most people do, but I still jump into other trades that aren't my setup. And I used to say, man, you just need patience. But I have the solution. The solution is you need to open a paper account for gambling, right? Or for experimentation or for practice. So when your setup does come, you're fresh, you're warmed up, you've been feeling the market. And so you kind of know what's going to happen in terms of the market. You've been looking at it every day. You're not just looking at it on that one day when your setup is there, and you're still warmed up. You're not just cold, right? You're not just coming into the market because your setup's finally there after 2 weeks of not doing anything and you're trying to make money. There's so many benefits to trying this. I need you to hear me. Give it a shot. And it doesn't need to be the broker I use. It could be anyone. I think Thinkorswim does a paper account. I think interactive brokers might. I don't know on that one, but I'm sure if you reach out to your broker, ask them. And don't message me saying, hey, do you know if my broker, because I don't know. I don't. All I do is trade. I run my business. I run my show. And I try to provide value, but I don't know specifically what your broker can do because I'm not in that business. But ask them, I'm sure they'll tell you. I'm 100%. And I want you all to know who are watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on the podcast, if you could do me a favor and just go to Apple Podcasts, iTunes, that's a mouthful, and give the show a rating and review. I'd appreciate it because it helped me find new listeners. And a lot of you have been doing that. If you look recently, we've gotten a lot of new ratings, and I really appreciate that so much. It means a lot to me. It's a big thank you to me, and I thank you guys so much for that. And by the way, check your emails, guys. I might just start doing it on social media. We've picked a random winner from the newsletter who subscribes to our newsletter, which basically you get updates on the show and blogs. We've been writing blogs about, I think, 8 a month is the goal for me. So you're going to get a lot of updates on that. But I also like to pick random winners because I want to build this community of passionate people about trading. And I want to help you guys out as much as I can. And at the end of the day, check your email. There's one individual I've been reaching out to. Maybe you think it's, here's the thing. Be careful too, because on Twitter, there's tons of scammers out there using my name and Tim Gratani's and Steven Duck's. So many people's names trying to get you to send them money. No one is real who's doing that, just FYI. But if I did send you an email from me, like, reply because I'm trying to hook you up with something. So at the end of the day, what am I talking about? If you subscribe to the newsletter, I randomly select people every so often to give you a prize just because I'm saying thank you. At the end of the day, that's what it is, just saying thanks back. Let you know that I'm here for you guys just like you're here for me. So I appreciate that. But I really wanted to focus today solely on the paper account, because I have found it to be so helpful. And especially if you track your trades, and you don't even have to track them per se, but I know what you're about to hear is going to be the opposite, right? Process over profits. That's all I think about when it comes to my trading account. It comes to how I really trade when I trade my real money, right? However, when you're paper trading, it's fake money anyway. But if you can look at that every day and see green every day, then you can also get some more confidence, and maybe I can start trading this setup in a real account. Maybe I can try small on a real account and then bigger. But it's just a good way to experiment, guys. I can't stress that enough. And I do want you to listen. If you haven't done real money yet, I personally suggest doing real money first. And what I mean by that is small, okay? If you have $1,000 to your account, risk $10. If you have $5,000 to your account, risk $20, $30, $40, $50, right? Something small where you still feel some type of emotion because maybe you never traded before, And then do that for about a month when you start to be like, God, I don't know anything, right? Because you'll feel that. And then get rid of that and go to your paper account. Because then you'll know how your emotions will act when you're in a real account. Because if you just go straight to paper, you're not going to get the full scope and you're not going to trade it with that mindset. And I don't think it'll be as beneficial. But if you actually trade it with the mindset of a real trader, because you've had the experience, and then you go to paper money, then I'm sure you'll find some success. And also, to give you some other feedback, 7 Points Capital, those guys, when they're struggling, when someone's struggling in their trading, I'm sure you've heard it in one of their episodes. I personally have heard it. They will put you on a paper account. They will, especially if you're struggling. And until you can prove that you can make money, and then they put you back small and then grow and grow and grow. And here's the other thing. SMB Capital, which is another prop firm, if you listen to any of their videos, they talk about how they use paper trading, and they also talk about how they divide their lots. They call them lots, like how many, in my opinion, now I could be completely wrong on this, call me out if I am, but lots are each lot is like a 1R to me, right? But the way they divide, let's say their max loss is $1,000 for the day until they're locked out, they will divide that by 10 to give them 10 trades, right? So that is another idea of how they look at trading. They're not trying to make huge money. Now, granted, it sounds a lot to us, right? If their lot is 20 grand or 50 grand or 100 grand divided by 10, that's 10 grand each. To you and the average Joe, right? That's a lot, but it's all percentages, guys. It's all percentages. And that's something I want to remind you of. If you're listening to the show, if you're new to trading, you're following people on Twitter and Instagram, you're seeing people post profits and loss. Let me just be real. You're seeing people post profits, all profits. I need you to ask yourself the question, what was the percentage? That's what matters. If they made $10,000, but they made 1 penny, right? Because they're trading such big size, that's something to rave about, right? If they're making 100 grand, but they made 20 cents, don't be down on yourself if you made 20 cents and you made $20. I'm talking to myself here too, right? I mean, this happens to all of us. Doesn't happen to me as often anymore because I actually don't look at anyone's P&L at all. If I see you post it, I actually block that. Even my friends, but I don't block the account. I just mute that. You can easily mute people that you follow who post that because you still, follow them, but you want to mute that certain type of information, right? You got to protect your brain. You got to protect your mindset, the filter. You got to filter the right things. You want positivity, not negativity. You want things that are going to make you feel good, not feel bad. So I'm going on a tangent here, but I'm hoping you found value in today's episode. Make sure to DM me on social media, reach out. I love communicating with all of you guys. If you're listening on the podcast, please give the show a rating and review. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified for more videos coming up. We release multiple videos a week, and we got some great ones coming. Thanks so much. Hey guys, I just want to take a moment to share with you some awesome news. I just started a newsletter, and you're probably like, what's so awesome about that? Well, it's not your typical newsletter because I'm going to give back to you, the people who subscribe to the newsletter. Number one, you will be getting updates on my YouTube exclusive videos, the podcast episodes, and articles and blogs all about trading. But how is it different? I'm going to give back to you guys. I'm going to select randomly different subscribers who are in the newsletter and give them either the opportunity to have a one-on-one call with me. Maybe I'll give them a free trading book, one of my favorite trading books, just to name one, Trading in the Zone. And also, and not only, because there's many, many more ideas that we're going to be doing and implementing. But another idea is maybe win the Billions box set. This popular show on Showtime, Billions. If you don't know about it, definitely look it up because it should be everyone's favorite show if you're a trader. At least it's one of my favorites. So I want to give back to you guys because you guys mean a lot to me. And I just don't want to only provide content, but I want to say thank you, right? And I provide content by saying thank you, but I also want to say thank you by giving back. So thank you guys, and you guys take care.